Why is it that some people achieve everything they dream of, while others, who may even be more talented, stay stuck in the same place for years? It's not luck, it's not timing, and it's definitely not talent. It's something far simpler, far quieter, and far more powerful: consistency. Today on Story of Becoming, I want to tell you a story that will change the way you look at your daily choices forever. Because once you truly understand why consistency always wins, you will never approach your life the same way again. Let me take you into the life of a boy named Aaron. Aaron wasn't gifted. He wasn't naturally smart. He wasn't the kind of kid teachers expected great things from. He was average in almost everything, except for one small habit he didn't even realize would shape his entire future. Every night before bed, he spent just 15 minutes practicing drawing. It wasn't serious, it wasn't planned, it was simply something that made him feel calm. But 15 minutes a night doesn't sound like much, right? It didn't impress anyone. It didn't bring instant results. And that's exactly why most people ignore habits like this. Because consistency hides its power in silence. As Aaron grew older, life got harder. Responsibilities piled up, problems appeared out of nowhere, and the world around him demanded more than he felt capable of giving. But even in the middle of chaos, he kept that small habit alive. 15 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes 5. Some days his drawings were terrible, some days he couldn't focus, some days he didn't even want to try. But he still showed up. Not perfectly, not passionately, just consistently. And here's something most people don't understand. Consistency isn't about being unstoppable. It's about not stopping. Years passed, and while his friends chased big changes all at once, Aaron quietly improved without realizing it. He didn't wake up one morning suddenly amazing at drawing. No, what happened was far more profound. One day, someone noticed. A classmate saw one of his sketches and asked him to draw something for her project. Then another person asked, then a teacher. Then someone offered to pay him. Not much, just a few dollars, but to him, that was the moment everything changed. Because for the first time, he realized something powerful. What he had been doing for years without any reward was finally paying off. But this story isn't just about drawing. It's about every part of your life, your habits, your goals, your dreams. Too many people quit because they don't see progress fast enough. They compare their chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 50. They expect results in weeks when real success is built through years. The truth is simple. Consistency creates results long before you notice them. And by the time the world finally sees what you've become, you've already been that person for a long time. Let's go back to Aaron. After school, he didn't go to a fancy college. He didn't get a mentor. He didn't have connections. What he did have was his habit. Every day, even after long hours of work, even when exhausted, even when life felt heavy, he gave himself 15 minutes. And here's the thing about 15 minutes. It doesn't change your day, but it changes your life. Over time, those small minutes formed a skill. That skill formed confidence, and that confidence formed opportunities. At 19, he started posting his drawings online. No fancy camera, no professional setup, just raw, honest progress. At first, almost no one watched, but the few who did could see something different. They could see the evolution. They could see the dedication. They could see the quiet force of someone who refuses to quit. Slowly, his audience grew. People began saying things like, "You're so talented," not knowing the truth. He wasn't born talented. He built his talent brick by brick through consistency. But life doesn't reward you without testing you first, and Aaron was tested hard. There came a year when everything fell apart. He lost his job. He lost someone he loved deeply. His confidence shattered. His motivation vanished completely.
For months, he felt like a failure, like everything he'd built was pointless. But even then, he held on to one thing, the habit. Not every day, not perfectly, but enough to keep the flame alive, enough to stop himself from sinking. Enough to remind himself that even when the world is falling apart, consistency keeps you grounded. And that's the part most people never learn. When life gets tough, don't try to do more. Just don't let yourself do nothing. Eventually, things began to turn again. His drawings improved, his audience grew faster. He started getting commissions from companies. He even got invited to teach online classes. And one day, when he looked at his life, he realized something unbelievable. The habit he once treated as a simple moment of peace had become the foundation of everything he had achieved: his career, his stability, his purpose, his identity. That's when he finally understood the deeper truth. Effort creates progress, but consistency creates transformation. Think about your own life for a moment. What if everything you want, confidence, success, growth, mastery, healing, isn't something you get from big decisions, but from small daily ones? What if the version of yourself you dream about is waiting on the other side of a tiny habit you haven't committed to yet? What if the reason you feel stuck is not because you're incapable, but because you keep stopping right before the results begin to compound? The world celebrates intensity. It celebrates big wins, dramatic changes, and overnight success stories. But the world forgets the long, quiet, invisible years that came before them. The truth is, intensity creates excitement, but consistency creates greatness. So let me ask you, what is your 15 minutes? What is the small action you can take today that will change your life years from now? Maybe it's reading a few pages. Maybe it's practicing a skill. Maybe it's working out for just 10 minutes. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's saving a small amount of money. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you show up. Not perfectly, just regularly. Because here's the secret. Consistent people aren't more motivated than you. They're not more disciplined than you. They simply understand one thing. Your future is built by what you repeatedly do, not what you occasionally feel. And if you need proof, look at a wren. Look at anyone who has achieved anything meaningful. Their success wasn't a lightning strike. It was a slow burn, a quiet climb, a daily choice. And that's a journey you can start today. If you're watching this, I want you to walk away with one message. You don't need to be the best. You don't need to start big. You don't need motivation every single day. You just need to show up long enough for the results to catch up to your efforts. Because consistency will always win. Not instantly, but inevitably. This is Story of Becoming, and if this story touched you, inspired you, or gave you a new perspective, make sure you stay with us for more life-changing stories that help you grow into who you're meant to be. Your journey isn't waiting, it's already started. All that's left is for you to stay consistent. And trust me, your future self will thank you for not giving up. Thank you for watching. Keep becoming who you're meant to be, and I'll see you in the next story.